You are what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
In today's video, I'm going to be creating inside sentiments for my cards. Whenever I create my cards, I usually compartmentalize. I like to make my cards in batches, so I like to have stacks of sentiments on hand that I can quickly insert into my cards. So for today, I'm going to show you how I do that, and then how I intend on storing these stamped sentiments. So let's dive into today's project. I've got a stamp set from Gina K Designs, and it is the Birthday Cheer mini stamp set, and it's got a bunch of sentiments for the inside and the outside of cards. And I thought this was a great stamp set that can be very versatile in my crafty space. I have a stack of pre-cut A2 size card panels, and I've got a mini Misty, and I'm going to take one card panel, load it up into the bottom right hand corner of my Misty, and grab one of the sentiments from the stamp set. I'll close the door of my Misty, make sure that the stamp is lined up nice and straight. I use the grid lines on the door of my Misty to make sure of that. And then I'm going to grab some nice dark black ink. I've got Gina K Designs Obsidian Amalgam ink, and I'll ink up that stamp really well, close the door of the Misty and press. And then I'll ink it up a second time. Because these are new stamps, I want to make sure that I get a nice crisp dark black impression. I'll pull out that sheet and then I'll continue stamping. Just repeating the same process. Stamping the sentiment, close the door of the Misty, and press. So once I've got 4 of that sentiment, I'm going to take my little stamp scrubby and I'm just going to clean it up while it's on the door of my Misty. My little stamp scrubby has a stamp cleaner on it. So I just rub that over the top of my stamp and then take a little sponge and wipe away any of that residue and extra ink. And then I'll remove the stamp and then start over again. I'll grab the next sentiment and some pre-cut panels of white cardstock, and I'll get those sentiments lined up onto the center of the cardstock, pick it up with the door of my Misty, and then ink, close the door, and press. And I'll repeat this process for each of the inside greetings in this stamp set. There are a total of 6 greetings, and I did 4 of each panel. So we've got 30 inside greetings for cards. This is a great starting point. Once I was done, I noticed I got some smudges here and there, which is common when you're stamping. So I have a sand eraser, and I'll just flip through all of the panels that I stamped and use my sand eraser to get rid of any smudges or gunk or anything that might be on my cardstock, because I want them to be nice and bright white and clean. So I'll go ahead and clean those panels up, and then I'm ready for the next step. So what I've decided to do was find a way to store these sentiments. I would like to have these sentiments on hand for all types of different cards. For birthdays, sympathy, Christmas, things like that. For all of the holidays and special occasions that I make cards for, I'd like to have sentiments ready for those. So I was thinking about how I would store these. I went to my drawer and I pulled out some of these large stamp pockets from Avery Elle, and I use these to store my 4x6 inch stamp sets along with dies that will fit in these sleeves. So I thought this would be a good spot to drop in these sentiments and keep them nice and clean, and I wouldn't have to worry about them getting bent or damaged, and I could see them very quickly and easily through the clear pocket. So I put a set of sentiments in, and then I thought, well, I'll add some to the back. So I have 2 sentiments in each pocket, and then I decided to add a divider so it would be easier to pull out the sentiments that I wanted to use. I have these dividers pre-cut, and I store them with my stamp pockets. So I inserted the divider and I put 1 sentiment on the back and 1 sentiment on the front. And I really like this organization. I feel like it's neat and clean and easy to see what I've got, and it'll be a quick reference when I want to pull out an inside greeting for a card. So I went ahead and did that to 3 different pockets. So I put 2 sets of sentiments in each pocket. And I also want to share with you this little template that I have. Whenever I buy stamp pockets, I always create a little template and I store it with the stamp pockets so that I can use scrap or cheap cardstock to cut the size of the stamp pocket to fill it in to make sure that it's nice and sturdy, and then it doesn't end up bending the corners or cracking or splitting or anything like that. So I like having that little cardstock in there to give it that extra strength. So I always keep these with all the different sizes of the stamp pockets that I have. I had to make it once and I've been using it for years. Okay, so here we go. We've got 3 pockets, 6 sentiments, and these are all ready to go. So my idea was to use this journal. I picked up this book from Michael's and it was only like $10, and I bought it when they had a sale in the paper crafting section where you buy one, get one free. So I bought this book and another, and together the both of them came to $10. So I thought it was a great deal. So this is filled with heavyweight cardstock, and you just design it in scrapbook or whatever you want to do, make a junk journal. And I thought I could use this to create pockets to store my sentiments. And I could put little tab labels on the side to identify Christmas or holiday or birthday or thank you, things like that. So if you'd like to see me work on this project and decorate this book and create these pockets, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know if you'd be interested in tagging along that journey with me and creating a card book for Inside Sentiments. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. Coming up on screen are a couple of other quick tip videos that I think you may enjoy. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!